Accra has the reputation of being one of the most expensive cities in Africa for tourists and expats. We are also living through a global cost of living crisis. Join me as I curate a full day worth of experiences in Ghana's capital for less than $10. The fourth activity will shock you. Earlier in 2024, I decided to visit Ghana one more time. I'm a Nigerian living in Nigeria, but Ghana is the country that I visited more than any other during my lifetime, and it was actually the first country I visited back in 2018. Quick disclaimer, I didn't do all these activities on the same day. I did them over 2 days, and the prices and rates I'm telling you are from Q2 2024 when I visited. Let's be honest, don't go out with $10 as a tourist. You might end up finding more exciting things to do and doing them, but this is what I was able to do on a budget of around $10 over 2 days. When I visited, $1 was worth around 15 cedis, give or take. So we are working with a budget of 150 Ghanaian cedis, which would be $10. Our first location for the day is the Legon Botanical Garden. It's safe to say that there is nowhere in Ghana I love more than Legon Botanical Garden. I visited this place during my first visit to Ghana in 2018, and I fell in love almost immediately. There are lots of things to do at this botanical garden, but my favorite has always been the obstacle course. Challenge yourself, go up there, level 2 and level 3. It's exciting. The first time I did it, I didn't think I was gonna survive. It got my blood pumping, and whenever I have the opportunity, I go. There was a time I took a flight with a connection in Accra for a couple hours just to visit this Legon Botanical Garden. But unfortunately, in October 2024, this garden died. For some reason, the garden was closed down. I believe it's owned by the University of Ghana, and I think it's management issues or something. The people that were managing it, I don't know the story, and I'm not going to pretend like I know the story, but one of my favorite places to visit in not just Ghana but in the world has been closed down. Unfortunately, you will not be able to visit the spot. The road cost 70 Ghanaian cedis, which is almost half of our budget, but it was worth every dime I paid. There are lots of activities here, so you could end up spending more or considerably less. I had the experience of a lifetime with the people I care about, and that's all that matters. RIP Legon Botanical Garden. I cannot believe that it took you away from us. What a time to be alive. Next up, we have the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Pavilion. This memorial pavilion was newly refurbished at the time I visited, and for some reason I'd been to Ghana more than half a dozen times and never bothered to check out Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Pavilion. But this time I said enough is enough. I'm going there to see what's up, and I'm going there to see what's happening. I really loved the idea of renovating the spot and attracting more people to visit. It cost 25 Ghanaian cedis for Ghanaians or 100 Ghanaian cedis for non-Ghanaians. When I went there, before I opened my mouth, bro asked me for 25 cedis and I paid. I did not pretend to be Ghanaian. He just assumed, and I did not correct him. But if you are going there and you are not Ghanaian, especially if you're obviously not Ghanaian like a white person, you pay 100. But for the sake of this video, I paid 25. In my opinion, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Pavilion is a must visit, and it's situated in such a location that you going to Accra not visiting is just you not wanting to visit. There is no excuse, and especially for first time visitors to the country. In case you weren't aware, Kwame Nkrumah was the first president of the Republic of Ghana. He led for a couple years before an unfortunate coup d'etat, and after the coup d'etat he left the country and only returned after his death. Unfortunate, but according to law, I'm not sure if it's real or not, but the memorial pavilion was built on the location where he gave the speech in 1957 announcing Ghana's independence, and he is buried alongside his wife here. Couple goes together forever, literally and figuratively. Are you enjoying the video so far? Because if you are, you definitely should consider subscribing and liking the video. Then probably in the future we can have more challenges like this with more money. The next spot is actually a free spot, and it's down the road from Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Pavilion. If you are Ghanaian, then you know what I'm talking about. Black Star Gates. It's about 1 or so kilometers away from Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Pavilion, and I walked the distance. Whenever I imagined Accra or Ghana as a child or as an adult, this is the picture that always comes to mind. Growing up in Nigeria, this was like the unofficial mascot or symbol of the country, and it has stuck to me till this day. It's free, but the security people are notorious for asking you to show them love. If you can, you should. That's if you want to enter the gate itself. I ended up giving them 5 cedis, even though I did not need to that I just did. When you think of Ghana or Accra, what monument or place comes to mind? For me, it's Black Star Gate, but I have friends that say it's actually the Black Star Square. So what comes to mind for you? This area of Accra is actually one of the most important in my opinion, because right beside the Black Star Gate, you can find the Black Star Square. It's open, or it was open and accessible to everybody, but there were very little people there. I guess it's something that if you see it every day, it's not really that special to you. But I went in and I walked around for a while, but I didn't get to spend much time because I was losing daylight and I still needed to shoot some content. The Accra Sports Stadium is also across the road. It's free, but if you've been there before, there might not really be a reason to return to the Black Star Square. Accra is a coastal town and famous for its beaches. You cannot visit Ghana and not go to at least one of the beaches, but unfortunately many of the spots are privatized, and for you to find an actual public beach takes a bit of effort. The places we visited were free to enter, but obviously there's an expectation that you spend money at this establishment, so I'm gonna put this down as free, but when you go in, there's an expectation that you patronize the business. Keep that in mind. Next up, as much as it pains me to say it, when you go to Ghana, you need to try Ghanaian food. Ghanaian cuisine isn't really a problem for me eating it because quite similar, or a bit similar to lots of traditional meal in Nigeria. I realized that I could get meals for around 20 cedis on the streets, not in like the high-rise hotels and all. And yes, I know what you are wondering. I ate Ghanaian jollof. It's there. I find the conversation between Nigeria and Ghana jollof to be pretty boring and played out. Bring another topic, please. If you're enjoying this video, you should consider supporting my channel by joining or gifting super thanks. It really means a lot and helps out as a new YouTuber. Thank you very much as you do so. Next up, let's talk about transport. For the sake of being on a budget, you should consider using Trotro. It might be hard as a first timer, especially if you are not with a local, but there are also other options like Uber, Bolt, Yango. Wait, is it Yango in Ghana or Kenya? I don't know, I'm mixing countries up, but I spent around 30 cedis each day on transport, so I'm going to put that down as 30 cedis. Or if you are going with private transport, obviously, I'm going to spend 30 cedis on Uber. One underrated activity in many cities globally is going to art galleries and museums. More often than not, these art galleries are free. I went to Villaggio, yes, the Villaggio, and at Villaggio there's a art gallery called Ada Contemporary Art Gallery. While I was there, a wonderful artist, Abdulrahman Mohammed, had his work on exhibition, and it was about Japa that's moving abroad, and Ghana Must Go By symbolized how many young Ghanaians were forced, not necessarily forced, but had no other choice than to move abroad for a better life, and that broke my heart because that's the same reality back home. Next up, I visited the Gallery 1957 outlet at Kempinski Hotel. I didn't realize at first, but Gallery 1957 has a couple locations within the city, and when I got to the one at Kempinski Hotel, I was a bit confused because it did not look like what I had seen online. But anyways, I got to enjoy an exhibition from a wonderful Ghanaian artist, Larry Amposa. The title of the exhibition was quite long, honestly, comically long, but I enjoyed the works from this artist. I can't lie to you. Ghanaian artists just have a way of connecting to me, and shout out to them, to be honest. I really enjoy all the artworks and artists I got to experience during my trip to Ghana. And once again, it's a free way for you to just chill, have a good time, and Gallery 1957 is right beside, not really beside, but close to major tourist spots. So when you're done with that, you can just come around for a couple minutes. Yes, I know it's beginning to sound like this is all about art galleries, but I love art galleries. And when I visited the Nobuke Foundation, I was astounded. It's in East Legon, I believe on Lome Close, and the building itself looks like a Bond villain's lair. It was like I was going into a villain's lair and then somebody would turn around and be like, Bond, we've been waiting for you. The art there were great, but there wasn't really like an artist on exhibition. We're just a random selection of artworks. But I would go to Nobuke Foundation again just because of the architecture. 10 out of 10. As we approach the end of the video, you should consider subscribing and liking if you've enjoyed it so far, and I'm sure you have. Quick confession here, although Accra used to have the reputation of being quite expensive, it was considerably less expensive last time I went than the first time I went. When I went to Ghana in 2018, it was around $1 to 4 cedis or 4 cedis 50, and now it's incredible that it has gotten to around 15-16. But some businesses in the tourism sector charge in USD. Before you go, you should consider following Accra influencers and seeing what they recommend. There are lots of cheap and free activities, and some might be coming up when you're around. You most likely won't spend only $10 in a day, because I know you're a baller, you're coming to spend money. I was on a tight budget, because I was visiting multiple countries, but you do not have to live your life like I did mine. I created the next video with you in mind. You'll definitely enjoy it. Until the next video, your friend from the Ukoro YouTube channel wishes you love, peace and prosperity.